Hello, my name is Henrik Hochschild. I'm German and I live in Leipzig, where I work as a concertmaster in the Gewandhaus Orchestra and teach the violin at the music college. It was here where I met Grace Sodago when her daughter Clara studied with me for 5 years. During her frequent visits, Grace told me a lot about the Amadeus Music School and shared her visions for establishing what we Europeans call classical music within the wider Indonesian society and culture. Everybody who meets Grace personally will certainly agree that it is impossible not to be impressed by her personality. And since I also work as a conductor and coach with youth and amateur orchestras here in Germany, she invited me to visit Jakarta and work with the Amadeus Symphony Orchestra. In summer 2019, that plan finally materialized, and I came to Indonesia to conduct one of the orchestra's concerts. We found the result mutually agreeable and plan to continue the collaboration on a more frequent basis. But unfortunately, a tiny little virus put a spanner in the works. During my time in Indonesia, I was immersed in a bubble of truly enthusiastic and passionate lovers of the so-called classical music. Therefore, nobody around me would question our proceedings or utter a word of prejudice. But there was one concern which I sensed, and that was the question of how Western classical music could find a balanced coexistence with the traditional Indonesian music of the gamelan. In other words, is classical music a threat to the gamelan, and could it suppress or even replace that unique tradition? My immediate answer to that question would be a clear no, simply based on my experience of other Asian countries, especially China and Japan, where, regardless of a very substantial demand for classical music, the traditional instruments and musical forms have not been neglected or forgotten. Digging a bit deeper, I think there's a simple reason for that. All music comes as part of a wider ritual. Originally, all music was developed as means to an end. Collective singing helped our ancestors to labor in a synchronized and therefore more effective way, or unite believers in worship, etc. Easily overlooked is the fact that Western music is more than the specific instruments and a certain intonation, but comes also as part of a ritual, the concert. And that ritual is a fairly new one, starting about 250 years ago in Europe, developing rapidly after the French Revolution in 1789, and found its first superstar in Ludwig van Beethoven. What separates this new ritual from most others is the division of its participants into two completely separate groups, performers and listeners. While the musicians are actively playing, the audience is silent and only focused to receive. You cannot dance to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and you cannot eat while an orchestra performs Mahler. Both composers demand the undivided attention of their audience, and exactly in that, many people around the globe find a pleasure. And this unique feature of the classical concert is the reason why Western music will not replace traditions like the gamelan in Indonesia, because the Western music does not suit the ritual of the gamelan. During my work with the Amadeus Symphony Orchestra, I was impressed by one particular detail. Teachers and pupils perform publicly together at the same time in the same ensemble. There may be rather practical reasons for this, such as having the necessary numbers of players on stage. But maybe, subconsciously, there's also an element from the gamelan to be found in that. The togetherness in which skills and knowledge are passed on from one generation to another. A pedagogical way which is more like master and apprentice than teacher and pupil. The master takes the lead in whatever project is done, but the apprentice is integrated to help in a substantial way and absolutely necessary for the success of it. The mere teacher, on the other hand, often seems to be tempted to treasure his own knowledge over his ability to pass it on to the student. This may not be a direct answer to the question, but shows how different cultural approaches can be successfully combined. I wish for the whole Amadeus family to emerge as unharmed as possible on the other side of this pandemic. I hope the children and the parents don't give up on their musical education and the teachers don't lose the sense of purpose in their daily struggles. May public appearances of the school and its ensembles come quickly back to the level before the pandemic and then grow further so that the whole school gets the recognition it deserves. I wish for a growth in numbers so that the Amadeus Symphony Orchestra can perform bigger and more complex repertoire. The multiple instrumental skills of some teachers and students are truly impressive. But if you have to choose between a trombone section on the one hand or two more stands of strings on the other, it is an impossible decision. It would be so much better to have 4 more stands of strings and an entire brass section. I wish you all a happy 30th anniversary. Happy birthday from me here in Leipzig.